I get the opportunity today to talk a little bit, not just about how we got here, but really where we're going. A couple of years ago, the DocuSign executive team and board of directors committed to a journey into a vision. And that vision consisted of being the world's number one e-signature company, being the world's number one agreement cloud company, and being the world's first smart agreement cloud. Obviously, from a signature perspective, you all know DocuSign. Presumably, you all know and love DocuSign. That number one spot is well earned every single day. The team that is responsible for the signature product continues to innovate, continues to deliver at the highest level. It's fantastic to see. You all met Thierry, and you got a chance to hear a little bit about the CLM and CLM Plus vision. CLM for DocuSign, we live at the top right of the Gartner Quadrant, and that's a great place to live. And I know with the work that Lalith and Kevin and Thierry are doing, that we're going to only go further up into the top right of that quadrant even further. And the world's first smart agreement cloud, that's why we're here today. AI meets agreements. We're so excited to be part of the DocuSign family and to be contributing in so many different ways to that smart agreement process. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, the DocuSign Agreement Cloud and where we go next. And part of that is really going to be defined by where do you want to go? And that's our vision. When you access the DocuSign Agreement Cloud, what we're really asking is where do you want to go? What do you want to do today? Do you want to prepare a document? Do you want to negotiate? Maybe it's time to approve and sign that document. Or do we want to connect that agreement and make it part of an integral part of your business fabric? Or are you managing your relationships on a daily basis? There's so many different places that we know that you want to go and that we want to support. I'd actually like to spend a couple of minutes focusing on a handful of key areas here. The first is negotiating better agreements. We know that's a critical journey that our clients want to take. We also want to talk a little bit about connecting agreements, and then ultimately, how do you continuously improve your process? So let's start with negotiation. We already spoke a little bit about Analyzer, and I'm hopeful you'll be able to stick around to the second hour of today's session because we're going to go much deeper in Analyzer. For those of you who were at Insight last year or that I've had the chance to visit with on a one-on-one basis, you know that this is my passion. This is my baby. I love seeing Analyzer come to life. I love seeing it be a core part of not just the Insight experience, but being a core part of the CLM Plus experience for the Agreement Cloud. So we're off to a great start there, but we know that we can even do better. We know that in the negotiation process, ultimately what we need to do is help you start with better drafts of agreements. We need to power your ability to respond to agreements that you receive through AI and robotics and negotiate better agreements leveraging your historical data from your past practices. What have I done with this relationship in the past? What have I done with similar relationships in the past? So many bits and pieces of legacy data that can help you negotiate better agreements in real time. And when we talk about real time, how about real time collaboration, whether with coworkers or with counterparties? That's a journey that we expect to help you complete. And when that agreement is complete, we expect to help you connect that agreement. So let's talk a little bit about what we mean when we talk about connected agreements. We don't see agreements anymore as static images. We don't see agreements as documents that are completed and tucked away into a file drawer. We see agreements as living, breathing business assets, and we see agreements as living, breathing business information that is connected to your ERP, that's connected to your CRM, and not just connected because it's done so in a programmatic way, but in an intuitive way. We know that when we see payment terms, we know where that information needs to be connected. We know when we see renewal dates, we know where that information needs to be connected. We know that when we see ongoing deliverables or obligations, who needs to be reminded? Those are the journeys that we want to support through connected agreements and through the DocuSign Agreement Cloud. And part of that process is making sure that we're helping you improve your processes on a daily basis. We have the foundation, we have the cornerstone through what you know as SEAL to collect incredible amounts of information to surface incredible insights into your documents. That's the Insight platform. But we also have, through the DocuSign Agreement Cloud, through our e-signature process, through DocuSign CLM, the ability to provide incredible insights, not just about the content of your agreement, but also about your agreement processes. And once we have the ability to provide information about agreement process and content, and to bring that data together, that then gives us the ability to do things like spot contracting trends, to identify where is it that you're most often negotiating documents? How can you generate a better first draft of a document that's going to sustainably protect your interests, but is also going to help you get to transactions faster? Because we know that you want to avoid workflow bottlenecks. It's so important to driving better business process and helping you get to do the business that you seek faster. And we also intend to give you the ability to manage processes and manage your teams more effectively. So if our host today, Hal Marcus, is negotiating his indemnification clause at 3 times the rate of any of his peers, we can identify that trend and we can go to Hal and say, Hal, are you making these decisions because you have a unique category of supplier or customer? Or is this just something that we need to look at and we need to monitor and we need to improve upon? This is the future of the agreement cloud. This is the future of agreements. And we're happy to be on this journey with you.